I shivered under the bus stop roof, staring at the puddles forming on the asphalt. The rain felt endless, like it wanted to wash away more than just the streets. Great, I muttered to myself. Another day stuck in the middle of nowhere. That's when I noticed her. Across the street, struggling with her umbrella, her hair plastered to her face. She looked familiar. Weirdly familiar. Like I should know her but couldn't place when. I hesitated. Then I called out, "Hey, do you need some help with that?" She looked up, startled, and her eyes met mine. For a second, everything else, cars splashing by, the rain pounding, faded. "Oh, yes, please," she said, her voice soft, almost shy. I jogged across the street, careful not to slip. "Here, let me hold it for you." She laughed, a small, almost nervous sound. "Thanks." I didn't think it would turn into a wrestling match with the wind. I grinned, shaking off water from my jacket. "It's brutal out here." You'd think umbrellas were made for decoration, not for actual use. She tilted her head, studying me. "Do I know you? You feel familiar somehow." "I don't think so," I said honestly. "Unless we met in another life during a torrential downpour." She giggled. "Maybe we did. I'm Sophia, by the way." "I'm Alex," I replied, feeling the name settle into me like it belonged. "Nice to meet you, Sophia. In this extreme weather." A gust of wind slammed into her umbrella, flipping it inside out. Without thinking, I lunged and grabbed it. "Got it," I handed it back, dripping wet. "Oh my gosh, you saved it," she exclaimed, brushing rain from her hair. Her smile, small and shy, hit me harder than I expected. "No problem," I said, awkwardly wiping my hands on my jeans. "I've been known to wrestle rogue umbrellas before." She laughed again. "Well, I'm lucky then." I noticed the way her eyes sparkled despite the rain. "So, are you stuck here too? Or do you have a car hiding somewhere?" "No car," she admitted. "The bus was supposed to be here 20 minutes ago. I guess I'll be swimming home instead." "Swimming?" I teased. "You'll have to promise me you don't eat too many puddles along the way." Her laugh came back, and I realized something strange. I wasn't thinking about being alone anymore. I wanted to hear more from her, to know her voice, to see her smile. "I don't know why," she said suddenly, looking down at the wet ground, "but it feels like meeting you makes this rain better." I felt my chest tighten. "I know what you mean. I don't usually talk to strangers, but—" I paused, catching my own thought. "This doesn't feel like talking to a stranger at all." A silence fell, comfortable, even with the rain pouring around us. She looked up and we smiled at each other again. Small and unspoken, like something just started that neither of us could explain. "I should probably wait for my bus," she said reluctantly. "Or," I said, "we could stand here a little longer. Fight the rain together?" Her eyes met mine, hesitant but warm. "Yeah, I'd like that." The rain continued to fall, but for the first time I didn't feel cold. I didn't feel alone. And maybe, just maybe, fate had decided to give me a little spark that night. I shivered under the bus stop roof, staring at the puddles forming on the asphalt. The rain felt endless, like it wanted to wash away more than just the streets. Great, I muttered to myself. Another day stuck in the middle of nowhere. That's when I noticed her. Across the street, struggling with her umbrella, her hair plastered to her face. She looked familiar. Weirdly familiar. Like I should know her but couldn't place when. I hesitated. Then I called out, "Hey, do you need some help with that?" She looked up, startled, and her eyes met mine. For a second, everything else, cars splashing by, the rain pounding, faded. "Oh, yes, please," she said, her voice soft, almost shy. I jogged across the street, careful not to slip. Here, let me hold it for you. She laughed, a small, almost nervous sound. Thanks. I didn't think it would turn into a wrestling match with the wind. I grinned, shaking off water from my jacket. It's brutal out here. You'd think umbrellas were made for decoration, not for actual use. She tilted her head, studying me. Do I know you? You feel familiar somehow. I don't think so, I said honestly. Unless we met in another life during a torrential downpour? She giggled. Maybe we did. I'm Sophia, by the way. I'm Alex, I replied, feeling the name settle into me like it belonged. Nice to meet you, Sophia. In this extreme weather. A gust of wind slammed into her umbrella, flipping it inside out. Without thinking, I lunged and grabbed it. Got it, I handed it back, dripping wet. Oh my gosh, you saved it, she exclaimed, brushing rain from her hair. Her smile, small and shy, hit me harder than I expected. No problem, I said, awkwardly wiping my hands on my jeans. I've been known to wrestle rogue umbrellas before. She laughed again. Well, I'm lucky then. I noticed the way her eyes sparkled despite the rain. So, are you stuck here too? Or do you have a car hiding somewhere? No car, she admitted. The bus was supposed to be here 20 minutes ago. I guess I'll be swimming home instead. Swimming? I teased. You'll have to promise me you don't eat too many puddles along the way. Her laugh came back, and I realized something strange. I wasn't thinking about being alone anymore. I wanted to hear more from her, to know her voice, to see her smile. I don't know why, she said suddenly, looking down at the wet ground, but it feels like meeting you makes this rain better. I felt my chest tighten. I know what you mean. I don't usually talk to strangers, but I paused, catching my own thought. This doesn't feel like talking to a stranger at all. A silence fell, comfortable, even with the rain pouring around us. She looked up and we smiled at each other again. Small and unspoken, like something just started that neither of us could explain. I should probably wait for my bus, she said reluctantly. Or, I said, we could stand here a little longer. Fight the rain together? Her eyes met mine, hesitant but warm. Yeah, I'd like that. The rain continued to fall, but for the first time I didn't feel cold. I didn't feel alone. And maybe, just maybe, fate had decided to give me a little spark that night. I could see it in her eyes the moment she walked in. Anger, fear, and something I didn't want to see again. Alex. Sophia's voice was quiet, tense. What is it? I asked, standing up. It's Ethan, she whispered, lowering her gaze. He's been watching, I think. I felt a knot in my stomach. Watching? How? Where? Everywhere, she said, her fingers trembling on the table. Calls, messages. He shows up sometimes, even when I don't respond. I leaned back, trying to process it. You mean he still tries to control you? Her voice cracked. I trusted him completely. I thought he cared, but he betrayed me, Alex. Made choices I never agreed to. Left me humiliated. And now he's back. I felt a surge of protectiveness, but also doubt. How far would I go for someone else's past? What do you want me to do? I asked. She shook her head. Nothing. I need to handle it. I reached for her hand. No, not alone. You don't have to do this alone. Later that evening, I left my apartment to clear my mind. The streets were empty, rain-soaked from the evening drizzle. And then I saw him. Ethan. Alex, he said casually, leaning against a lamppost. I didn't expect to see you here. I swallowed hard. Neither did I. What do you want? He smirked. Just checking in. seeing if you're sticking around her. I'm staying. That's all you need to know. My voice was steadier than I felt. Bold, he said, stepping closer. Do you know what you're getting into? She's complicated, and I don't let people interfere. I straightened, trying not to flinch. I don't scare easily. He laughed, cold and sharp. We'll see about that. Just don't get in my way on her. Alex, not yet. Before I could respond, he was gone, slipping into the shadows like a ghost I didn't want haunting her life. I returned to Sophia, my chest tight. He came, I said, sitting down. She looked up at me, scared but relieved. He didn't. I'm not going anywhere, I interrupted gently. Not tonight, not ever. Tears welled in her eyes. I'm scared, Alex. What if he ruins everything? I took both her hands in mine. Then we'll face it, together. I won't let him control you again, not me, not anyone. She nodded, biting her lip. I trust you, but I'm still afraid. I brushed her wet hair back. Fear's okay. It just means you care. But we're stronger than we think. We sat in silence for a moment, rain pattering against the window. Then she whispered, trembling, I think I like you. More than I should. My heart skipped. You like me? Yes, she admitted, voice barely audible. I didn't mean to. I can't hide it anymore. I felt my chest tighten. I like you too. I've been waiting to hear that. Her hand brushed mine again, warmer now. Are you sure? About us? I've never been more sure of anything, I said, leaning closer. Her eyes widened, searching mine, before she closed them as I tilted my head. Our lips met softly, hesitantly at first, then with more certainty. The world blurred. Traffic, rain, even our surroundings faded. I felt her heartbeat against mine, trembling yet steady. Alex, she whispered. I've got you, I said against her lips. When we pulled back slightly, I saw her smile through tears. That was everything. I know, I said, grinning despite my own racing heart. It feels like it changed everything. She rested her head on my shoulder, still trembling, and I held her tight. I'm glad you stayed, she whispered. And I'm not going anywhere, I replied. Not now, not ever. The rain continued outside, but inside it felt like the storm had passed, at least for now. We had each other, and for the first time, that felt like enough. I woke to a message from Sophia. Can we talk? My heart sank. It wasn't just any text. It carried a weight I could feel. When I met her at the park, she looked tense, fingers twisting her scarf. Hey, what's wrong? I asked, trying to sound casual. It's Ethan, she admitted, biting her lip. He's been talking to my friends again, telling them things, lies. And even my sister called, asking questions. I clenched my fists. He's not going to manipulate you anymore. I won't let him. She shook her head. I don't know, Alex. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe being with you just drags him back into my life. Stop that, I said firmly. It's not your fault, and it's not a reason to doubt us. Her eyes met mine, searching. Do you really believe that? I do, I replied. I trust you. I trust us. That's all that matters. We walked in silence for a few minutes. Then she laughed softly, shaking her head. You always make me feel like everything's possible, even when it's not. Maybe because it is, I teased, trying to lighten the tension. She sighed, leaning against me. Sometimes I wonder if I can ever fully trust again, after everything Ethan did. I put my arm around her shoulders. You can. With me. I won't give you a reason to doubt it. Later, over coffee, we argued. You don't understand, she said, eyes fiery. It's not just him, it's my friends, my family. Everyone questioning me because of him. I do understand, I snapped, then took a deep breath. I hate seeing him control any part of your life. I want to protect you. She shook her head. I don't need protecting, Alex. I need someone who trusts me enough to stand by me. I do trust you, I said, softening. I trust you more than anyone else. Her eyes shimmered with tears. Then why does it hurt so much? Why do I feel like I'm failing you? You're not failing me, I said, taking her hands in mine. We're in this together. That's what matters. Always. She leaned into me, resting her head on my shoulder. I'm scared, she whispered. I know, I said, brushing her hair back. I'm scared too, but I promise you, I won't let him or anyone else take you from me. Her lips trembled as she looked up. You promise? I promise, I said firmly. No matter what happens outside, I'm here. I'm not leaving. We sat in the park, the world around us quiet. Alex, she murmured, tears spilling. I think I've never felt this safe with anyone. That's how it's supposed to feel, I said, holding her tighter. No fear between us. No doubt. Just trust. She smiled faintly through her tears. Even with Ethan still out there? Especially with him, I said. We face him together, not apart. That's our strength. The rain started again, light and persistent, like it had followed us from before. She rested her head on my shoulder and I wrapped my arms around her. I don't care about the rain, she whispered. Neither do I replied. I care about you. That's all that matters. She lifted her head slightly, searching my eyes. I believe you, she said softly, a smile breaking through the tears. I'll never give you a reason not to, I said. Not now. Not ever. In that moment, I realized something important. Love wasn't just attraction. It was patience. It was understanding. It was courage. And with her, I had all three, ready to face any storm. Her hand squeezed mine, and I knew, no matter what dangers lingered outside our world, nothing could break what we had just begun. I didn't see it coming. A simple text from Ethan, just a line, but enough to make my blood run cold. Thanks for the info. Very helpful. I stared at my phone, mind racing. What did she tell him? I muttered, pacing the small apartment. Sophia looked up, alarmed. Alex, what is it? I spun toward her, holding the phone like evidence. This! What did you tell him? Her eyes widened. I didn't mean to. It was accidental, I swear. Accidental? I repeated, my voice tighter than I intended. Sophia, this isn't a joke. He could ruin everything. Us, your family, your life. I know, she cried, tears brimming. I didn't think. I didn't know it mattered. I ran my hands through my hair. Do you even understand the stakes here? How much he manipulates, twists things to his advantage? I didn't, she sobbed, voice breaking. I never wanted to hurt you, or us. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. Then help me understand. Tell me exactly what happened, she nodded, wiping her tears. I was talking to my sister yesterday about my work situation. I mentioned a small personal thing, something I thought was harmless. Ethan overheard, or my sister told him. I didn't even realize he would use it. I swear, Alex, I didn't mean it. I felt the anger and hurt clashing inside me. You know how careful we have to be with him, how he'll twist anything, turn it against us. I know, she cried, burying her face in her hands. I feel horrible. I hate myself for it. I sank into the chair, running my hands over my face. I don't know if I can trust you right now, not fully. Her hand touched mine. Alex, please, I love you. I didn't betray you, not really. I just made a mistake, a stupid one. I'd never hurt you on purpose. I looked into her eyes, seeing genuine fear and regret. My heart ached. I want to believe you. I do. But it hurts, Sophia. It cuts deep knowing he knows something he shouldn't. I understand, she whispered. I'll do anything to make it right. I'll tell him nothing else. I'll fix this. Please, don't walk away. I'm not walking away, I said, even as doubt lingered. But we have to be careful. Every word, every step, one wrong move, and it could destroy us. I'll be careful, she promised. I'll prove it to you. I'll regain your trust. I nodded slowly, the anger giving way to concern. We'll figure it out together. But I need honesty, absolute honesty. No more slips, no more shadows between us. I promise, she said, squeezing my hand, trembling. No more secrets, no more shadows. I'll do whatever it takes to protect us. I exhaled, letting some of the tension slip. Okay, we'll face him together. This isn't the end of us, but it's a test, and we need to pass it. Her head rested against my shoulder. I'm so scared, Alex. I feel like I ruined everything. You didn't ruin everything, I said, brushing her hair back. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we respond. We survive this together. She looked up at me, eyes glossy with tears. You really mean that? I do, I said, holding her gaze. I'm not letting him or anything come between us. Not now, not ever. We sat like that for a while, holding each other, letting the tension fade into resolve. Outside, the city moved on, oblivious to the storm we were navigating inside. I love you, she whispered finally, voice small but determined. And I love you, I replied, gripping her hand tighter. More than ever. Now let's make sure nothing and no one can break us. The bond between us felt stronger after that night, fragile but tested, a promise that even mistakes couldn't undo. And though Ethan's shadow lingered, I knew we'd face him together without fear, without hesitation. I got the call from Ethan late in the evening. Alex, he said, his tone silky but sharp, you really think you can keep her safe? You're in over your head. What do you want, Ethan? I asked, trying to keep my voice calm. I want her past, revealed, exposed. Do you understand what that could do? My hands tightened around the phone. You won't touch her, not while I'm standing. He laughed. Big words. But can you back them up? I hung up, my heart racing. I couldn't just sit back anymore. I couldn't let him control her life from the shadows. Sophia, I said, turning toward her when she entered the room. He's escalating. He's threatening to expose your past. We need to deal with this now. Her eyes widened, worry mixing with fear. Alex, what can we do? He's relentless. We face him, I said firmly. Together. You and me. No more hiding. No more fear. She nodded slowly. I'll stand with you. I trust you. The next day, I sought him out. I found Ethan at a cafe, looking smug as ever. Alex, he said, leaning back in his chair, I was wondering when you'd show up. I sat down opposite him, keeping my tone measured. This ends tonight, Ethan. You stop manipulating her, or you'll answer to me. He raised an eyebrow. Answer to you? That's cute. You think you can intimidate me? I don't need to intimidate you, I said, locking eyes with him. I just need to be honest. You've made mistakes. I've made mistakes too. And we're both vulnerable. But she doesn't deserve to suffer because of either of us. He smirked. Vulnerable, huh? I didn't realize honesty was your weapon. It is now, I said. I've made mistakes too, Ethan. Fears, regrets, things I haven't told anyone. But hiding behind threats isn't courage. Standing here protecting someone you care about, that's courage. Sophia appeared at my side, her hand brushing mine lightly. "I'm here too," she said softly. Ethan's smirk faltered for a second. You're together in this?" "Yes," I said. "We are. You're not going to control her anymore. Not me, not anyone." He studied us, then shrugged, leaning back. "We'll see how long that lasts." I didn't flinch. "We'll see. But tonight we're done being afraid. You won't manipulate, threaten, or ruin anyone's life. Not mine, not hers, not anyone else?" He stared a moment longer, then stood, nodding slowly. "Fine. For now." As he walked away, I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. I turned to Sophia. "Are you okay?" She nodded, tears brimming. "I was so scared, Alex. But he's being here with you, facing him. I feel safe." I cupped her face gently. "You're never alone. Not now, not ever. We face this together, always." She smiled weakly. "I can't believe how brave you are." "I'm not brave," I admitted. "I'm scared too. But fear doesn't stop us. Love doesn't stop us." She rested her head on my shoulder, letting the tension melt. "I love you," she whispered. "I love you too," I replied. "More than anything." Later, as the rain started again, we walked outside. The droplets soaked our clothes, but neither of us cared. I pulled her close, letting the rain mask our quiet laughter. "I think this changes everything," she said softly, looking up at me. "It already has," I said, brushing wet hair from her face. "Tonight we're a team, unbreakable, stronger than any shadow trying to divide us." Her lips met mine, hesitant at first, then deepening. The kiss was long, intimate, and grounding. I could feel the bond between us solidifying, something stronger than fear, stronger than doubt. "I feel it," she whispered against my lips. "I feel like we can survive anything together." I held her tighter. "We can, and we will. No matter what comes, no one can touch us when we stand together." We pulled back slightly, rain dripping from our hair, smiles on our faces. "Promise me we won't let anyone control us again," she said. "I promise," I replied, brushing her cheek gently. "No one. Not now, not ever. We face everything as one." The storm around us didn't matter. Ethan's threats, the past, the fear, they all faded when I held Sophia close. That night, the rain wasn't a threat, it was a witness to a turning point, a declaration, a bond that nothing could break. The next morning, Sophia met me at the cafe, determination in her eyes. "Alex," she said, sliding into the seat across from me, "we can't let him control us anymore, not one step." "I agree," I said, feeling a surge of resolve. "We face him together, strategically, carefully, but together." She nodded. "I've started setting boundaries, friends, family, work. I won't let him twist anything again." "Good," I said. "We need a plan. Not for revenge, but for protection. Clarity, our lives back in our hands." Sophia smiled faintly. "I like that. Clarity. Feels like the first time I can breathe." "I've learned something too," I admitted. "Strength isn't just about fighting him. It's about knowing when to stand firm, when to trust, and when to act. I've never realized how much courage I had until now." Her eyes softened. "I see it in you every day. You've changed me, Alex. You've made me stronger too." I reached across the table, taking her hand. "We're stronger together. Nothing he throws at us can break that." That afternoon, Ethan tried again. I received a message from him, subtle, menacing. "Careful, Alex, she belongs to me." I showed it to Sophia. "See? Same old tactics." She frowned. "But they don't work on me anymore. Not if we stay united." "Exactly," I said, smiling. "We don't react with fear. We react with clarity. He thrives on doubt. We don't give him that." Later that evening, we walked through the park. "I can't believe how far I've come," Sophia said quietly. I used to let people decide my life. Now, I'm choosing for myself. You're reclaiming control, I said, squeezing her hand. And it's inspiring. Honestly, I feel more alive too. I'm realizing I can handle more than I thought. Emotionally, mentally, everything. She laughed softly. I think we've both grown. You've become someone I admire, Alex. Strong, patient, protective, but not overbearing. It's perfect. Thanks, I said, smiling back. I admire you too. You faced fear, betrayal, manipulation, and still you're here, standing strong. A week passed, and every attempt Ethan made, manipulating friends, twisting facts, intimidation, only bounced off us. We spoke openly with her family, clarifying misinformation. We confronted her friends gently but firmly, showing unity, honesty, and emotional strength. One night after a tense conversation with her sister, Sophia sighed. I feel like a weight is lifted. Because it has, I said. We took back control. No one can push us around when we're united. She leaned into me, whispering, I trust you completely, and I trust myself too. That's new. I brushed a damp strand of hair from her face. That's growth, that's strength, that's love, not fear, guiding us. We celebrated small victories, texts deleted, lies exposed, confrontations avoided. Each time Ethan tried, we stood firm. I realized something profound. I didn't need revenge. Karma would handle him if we stayed steadfast, focused on our lives, and refused to let him take energy or joy from us. I'm proud of us, Sophia said one night, holding my hand as we sat by the window, rain falling softly outside. We've reclaimed everything. And we'll keep doing it, I said, voice low but firm, step by step together, stronger than his influence, stronger than fear. She smiled, resting her head on my shoulder. I feel powerful, not because of anger or revenge, but because of love and clarity, because of us. I kissed the top of her head, holding her close. Exactly. That's the real strength. Not fighting shadows, but shining through them together. As the night deepened, we walked outside into the rain. Not like before, scared, vulnerable, uncertain, but like warriors, resilient and united. Alex, she whispered, lifting her face toward mine, I feel alive again, like we can survive anything. We can, I replied, brushing rain-soaked hair from her forehead. Because we have each other. That's our power. She pressed her lips to mine, softly at first, then with a depth that mirrored our growth, our courage, our emotional clarity. The rain soaked our clothes, but neither of us cared. It wasn't about the storm. It was about standing together through it. I love this, us, Sophia said, smiling through the rain. Me too, I replied, holding her tight. I've never felt so sure of anything in my life. We're a team, unbreakable, and nothing, no past mistakes, no threats, no shadows can touch that. We lingered in the rain that night, letting it wash away fear, leaving only clarity, strength, and love. For the first time, I felt true purpose, not in revenge, but in the power of resilience, trust, and the bond we had forged. Together, we had risen from pain, stronger than ever, ready to face anything the world or Ethan could throw at us. The moment came sooner than I expected. Ethan appeared at the cafe where Sophia and I often met, a smug smile plastered across his face. Well, if it isn't Alex and the little star he's trying to protect, he sneered. I stood up, taking Sophia's hand in mine. We're done, Ethan. Whatever you think you can do, it won't work. He laughed, leaning casually against the counter. Is that supposed to scare me? I've seen you crumble before. You think holding her hand changes that? It does, I said firmly, because it shows we're united, together, stronger than any of your manipulations. Sophia squeezed my hand. He doesn't control us anymore. she said, voice steady. Not my life, not my choices, not our love. Ethan's eyes flicked to her, a brief shadow of surprise crossing his face. Bold words, he said, though I could see the tension beneath them. I'm done being afraid, I said, stepping closer. Done being manipulated. You've tried lies, threats, intimidation, and they've all failed. You think you've won? He snapped. You think a little romance, a little trust, can undo everything I've done? I don't need to undo your actions, I replied, voice calm. They've already unraveled on their own. Truth has a way of exposing itself, and it's exposing you. Sophia's father stepped forward, frowning. Enough, Ethan. We've heard enough of your threats. We know the truth now. Stop harassing my daughter. Her mother nodded beside him. We're done listening to lies. You've lost any credibility here. Ethan's smirk faltered for the first time. You think you can ignore me? He demanded, voice sharp. No, I said, keeping eye contact. We acknowledge the past. We confront it. But we don't fear it anymore. You can't control anyone through intimidation. Her friends gathered, some nodding quietly, others stepping closer. She's right, one said. We've seen your games, Ethan. We're not playing along anymore. Sophia's colleagues, who had been hesitant before, joined in. Enough manipulation, another said firmly. She's not your puppet. I glanced at Sophia. See, you're not alone. Not now. Not ever. She looked up at me, eyes shining. I feel free, strong, protected, not because of me, but because of us. Exactly, I said. We faced fear together and it didn't break us. It only made us stronger. Ethan's face was pale now, his threats falling flat. This isn't over, he muttered, trying to maintain some semblance of control. It is, I said firmly. For us, it is. Your games are over, and honestly, justice has its own way. You don't need me to take revenge. Truth handles it. Sophia leaned against me, whispering, I never thought we'd get here. I kissed her temple. Neither did I. But we did. And it feels liberating, doesn't it? Her lips curved into a small, confident smile. It does. I feel like we can breathe again. Like the shadows have lifted. I looked around at our friends and family, seeing support instead of doubt, honesty instead of fear. All of this, I said softly, wasn't about revenge. It was about truth, about standing together even when it was hard. And look at us now. Sophia laughed softly. We've grown so much. I've learned to trust, to set boundaries, to face fear head on. And with you, I've found courage I never knew I had. I held her hand tighter. And I've learned patience, empathy, and the strength that comes from love. We've both changed. We've both grown. And we're stronger for it. Ethan turned to leave, muttering under his breath, powerless in the face of the unity around him. I didn't watch him go. I focused on Sophia, on the warmth of her hand, on the certainty that nothing could shake us anymore. Outside, the evening rain had stopped, leaving a calm that matched the peace I felt inside. Sophia leaned against me, whispering, I think this is the first time I've truly felt safe and happy. You should, I said, brushing her wet hair from her face. We faced everything together, and nothing, no one, can take that from us. We kissed softly, then deeply, letting the intimacy of the moment remind us of all we had endured and all we had conquered. Unbreakable, she whispered against my lips. Unbreakable, I echoed, and in that moment I realized something profound. Justice doesn't always need revenge. Strength doesn't always come from fighting. Love, courage, and truth are enough to conquer shadows, fear, and betrayal. Together, Sophia and I had reclaimed our lives, And no threat, no past mistake, and no manipulator could ever change that. I woke to the soft sunlight spilling through the curtains and found Sophia still curled beside me. "Morning?" I whispered. "Morning?" she replied, stretching and yawning. "Sleep well." "Better than I have in weeks," I said, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face. She smiled, that quiet, genuine smile that had pulled me through every storm. "Me too. It feels peaceful. Finally." I leaned back, taking her hand in mine. "We've earned it, haven't we? All the struggles, all the fear, it led us here." She nodded. "I can see you now, Alex. Not just your strength, but your heart. And I feel like you see me too, completely, without hesitation or doubt." "Always," I said softly. "Every part of you. And every part of me you've accepted too." She laughed lightly, leaning her head against my shoulder. "I never imagined feeling this free. To love without fear, to trust completely. It's incredible." "It's like we've grown together," I said. "The past shaped us, yes, but it doesn't define us anymore. We've built something stronger than fear or manipulation." She looked up, eyes glistening. "I love you, Alex. I've never felt so certain about anyone." "I love you too," I replied, smiling. "More than I thought possible. Every challenge we faced, it just proved how unbreakable we are together." "Do you remember the first time we kissed in the rain?" she asked, a playful smirk on her lips. "How could I forget?" I laughed softly. "I thought it was just a fleeting spark. Now I see it was the beginning of everything." She pressed closer. "Every moment since then has been proof. Every conversation, every fight, every tear, it led us here." I squeezed her hand. "And I feel whole. I can finally say I'm truly happy. Not just content, but alive. With you." She rested her forehead against mine. "That's how I feel too. Every part of me trusts you, loves you, and wants to face the future together." I smiled, feeling the weight of all we had endured lift entirely. There's no shadow left, no lingering doubt, just us, together, strong and open. "Do you think we'll ever face anything like that again?" she asked softly, tilting her head. "Maybe," I admitted, "but it won't matter. We've learned how to face life, side by side. We can handle anything." She laughed lightly, a sound full of relief and joy. "I like knowing that. Knowing that whatever comes, we have each other." I kissed her hand. "Love isn't just about passion, it's patience. It's resilience, it's unwavering trust. That's what we have now, and it's more powerful than anything else in life." Her eyes glimmered. "It feels limitless. I never thought love could feel this steady, this safe, and this alive at the same time." I pulled her into my arms, holding her close. "It's the power of everything we've been through. The battles, the pain, the moments of fear. They taught us how to hold on, how to fight, and how to love fully." She buried her face in my chest, sighing with contentment. "I feel like we can dream freely now, without fear or hesitation." "Yes," I whispered, "we can laugh, love, and build our life together without shadows of the past. Every touch, every word, every glance, it matters because it comes from truth, not fear." She tilted her head up to kiss me softly. "I love you." "I love you too," I said, holding her tight. "And I promise no past mistake, no shadow, and no fear will ever touch what we have now. We're unstoppable together." We stayed like that for a long while, the sunlight warming us, the world quiet around us. I realized then that love itself, patient, resilient, and unwavering, was the most powerful force in life. And with Sophia by my side, I knew we could face anything the future held, unbroken and open-hearted. The rain tapped gently against the window as Sophia and I sat together on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. "I love this. The quiet," she whispered, her fingers tracing mine. "Me too," I replied, brushing her hair from her face. "It feels like everything finally slowed down. Like we can just be us, without fear, without shadows." She smiled, resting her head on my shoulder. "Do you remember how scared I used to be? Afraid of trusting, afraid of being hurt again?" "I do," I said softly. "And I remember how lost I felt before you. But now, I feel complete, peaceful, whole." She laughed lightly. "We've come so far. It's crazy to think about how much we've endured. Ethan, the lies, the doubts, all of it. And yet here we are," I said, tightening my hold on her. "Stronger than ever. Every trial, every betrayal only brought us closer. Showed us what really matters." Her eyes glimmered with emotion. "I love you, Alex. I don't just say it, I feel it. Every day, every moment." "I love you too," I said, cupping her face. "And I promise I'll spend every day proving it. Protecting this, protecting you, us." She leaned forward, pressing her lips to mine softly. "Forever starts now," she whispered between kisses. I smiled, letting the moment stretch. Forever begins with trust, love, and knowing that no matter what comes, we face it together, always. She pulled back slightly, her eyes searching mine. "Do you think we'll ever forget the pain we went through?" "Maybe," I said slowly. "But that's not a bad thing. It shaped us, taught us resilience, patience, and how to love fully. I wouldn't erase any of it because it led me to you." Her hand cupped my cheek. "I feel the same. Every scar, every tear, it's part of our story. And I love it. I love us." I kissed her again, deeper this time, letting all my gratitude, love, and relief pour into that one moment. I'm grateful for every second we've shared, every moment we've survived. And I can't wait for all the moments to come. She smiled against my lips. "So, no more shadows? No more fear?" "None," I said firmly. "Only us. Only love. Only the life we build together." She rested her forehead against mine, eyes closed. "I feel safe. I feel happy. Truly happy." "And that's all I ever wanted," I replied. "To see you like this. To hold you like this. To live a life where we can face the world without fear. Together." The rain outside slowed to a soft drizzle, like the world itself was exhaling with us. Sophia snuggled closer, murmuring, "Promise me we'll never forget this feeling. That we'll always remember how far we've come." "I promise," I said, brushing my lips against her temple. "We'll never forget. And every time life tries to challenge us, we'll remember this peace, this love, this strength." She laughed softly. "Forever really does start now, doesn't it?" "Yes," I said, holding her close, my heart swelling with certainty. "Forever starts now. With you, with us, and nothing, no past mistake, no fear, no shadow, can ever take it away." We kissed again, long and tender, letting the moment seal itself into memory. In that quiet evening, with the rain softly falling and the world muted around us, I realized that love, patient, resilient, and unwavering, was the most powerful force of all. And for the first time in my life, I felt entirely at peace. With Sophia in my arms, the trials behind us, and the future ahead, I whispered, "Forever begins now." Her smile met mine, and I knew, without doubt, that it truly had.